Hello everyone, I'm Yvonne, a children's librarian here at the Manchester City Library, and I would like to welcome you all to Elementary Experiments Fall Edition, or to welcome you back if you were here with us during the summer. Here we will do experiments and activities aimed at elementary grades 1 through 6 with a focus on STEAM or science, technology, engineering, arts, or math. With the school year starting, we know that everyone has a lot to do, so we decided to post elementary experiments here online and then do them together in person on the very last Tuesday of the month at 3:30 p.m. at the Manchester City Library. So we will be posting 2 elementary experiments, one on the first Tuesday of the month, the second on the third Tuesday of the month, and then on the last Tuesday of the month, we will do both of those in person for everyone who would like to or can attend. So if you want to join us in person, please visit our website and register so that we can make sure that we have enough materials and crafts for everyone who comes. We are going to continue to post here to share our crafts and activities with as many people as possible. But if you are in grades 1 through 6 and you like what you see, remember that we are doing that monthly wrap-up in person on the last Tuesday. So now that we've covered all of that, let's take it in to this week's elementary experiments. Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's elementary experiments, where we are going with the theme Summer Farewell. So you may have noticed that the days are getting shorter, and the nights are getting longer, and everything's starting to cool off maybe just a little bit. And so I thought that we would do this second September elementary experiments just to get in the very last bits of fun that we can with the warm weather. Now, our activity for this week is going to actually be origami water balloons. Because running around outside and throwing water at friends and family is really just a really fun part of summer. Maybe make sure that they're okay with getting water thrown at them, but I'm going to leave that up to you. But if you don't have water balloons, or you don't want to have to go around and clean up all the plastic from the water balloons afterwards, we do have the option of making them out of paper, which is what our activity today is about. All right, so for this activity, all you need is a square sheet of paper, some water, and a target, basically. Now, if you don't have a square piece of paper, we can take a rectangle piece of paper and turn it into a square real fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one corner and fold it up so that it lines up along that edge, and fold down. So you see we have this right triangle here. And then you are going to need a pair of scissors. And we're just going to cut along this edge of the triangle. And so we'll have this rectangle, which we can put aside for using another day. And then we have our square. And it's okay that we have this crease because we're going to need it anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our square piece of paper and we are going to fold into this triangle, which is very familiar. Then we're going to unfold and repeat with the other corners. This right here. Then we are going to open and we are going to fold the square in half so that the corners are together. And then repeat that on the other side. All right, so now we're going to want to get it so that the creases that are running from the corners are on the mountain side, so they're going up, right? And then the ones that are to the flat edges are down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the edges together so that this mountain shape kind of pops up. And then we are going to flatten into a triangle, right? So we start here with our paper. Just take a look at where the lines are. And then we are going to bring together our sides and flatten into our triangle. So then we're going to take our corner and we're going to fold it up the middle. And there is a crease line that we can follow along. Hold it up there. And the other side. And we're only doing the top layers of these corners. So we have folded like this. And then we're going to flip it over and do the same to the back. Here we go. Now we are going to take the sides and we are going to fold it in to the center where that line is. That first layer. And we're going to do the same to the other side corner. Okay, and then we are going to flip it over and do the same on the back. Now we're going to look at where the little pockets on this flap is. So on one side it's going to have a little flap, on the other side it's going to be just a fold. So on the side with the flap, we are going to take this corner and we are going to tuck it into that little flap that makes a pocket. Just gonna tuck that right in. All right, we're going to do the same on the other side. And then we're going to flip it over and repeat on the back. Okay, now we go to the side that we have not tucked down. And we're actually going to go ahead and trim the top off. And that is going to make the opening for our little water balloon. And this is where you can try and blow it open. That actually worked pretty well. See here where we have tucked ours in, and here's the opening that we cut open. And you can see how using origami is really cool and can obviously build some shapes that you were not expecting. Your three-dimensional shapes from just a flat pieces of paper. And that's one of the reasons why origami is being used more and more in engineering, especially as people are thinking about taking things and possibly people further into space, because origami is light and easy to move and can be made into tons of things that you need, even if what you need is a water balloon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and fill this up with some water. So I've heard for maximum impact, you can wait so that the water in your water balloon will kind of soak into the fibers of the paper a little bit to actually make it weaker, so that when you throw the water balloon, it will like release water from everywhere and not just up here. But don't wait too long, because if you wait too long, then the water will go through all of the fibers that make up the paper, and it'll completely disintegrate. So I'll throw a few facts up on here, and then we will test this water balloon together. So hopefully you guys were able to see in my activity that the origami water balloons worked pretty well. And I did use 2 different types of paper to make the water balloons, and you saw the differences with how they reacted. So I'm going to leave it up to you to figure out what different papers I used and like maybe why they reacted a little bit differently. And also experiment on your own and try and kind of figure out ahead of time, make predictions about what paper you think will work best and why you think they will react the way they do to being used as water balloons. But that is our activity, so I want us to move on to our craft. All right, so for our craft this week, it is fancy paper fans. If you guys have been coming to the Manchester City Library for a while, you may recognize these, but I thought they would be the perfect craft for wrapping up summer. So if you're running around and soaking each other with origami water balloons is still not making you cool down enough, you will have this fancy paper fan. So if you undo the tie, open it up, it actually creates a pretty nice breeze. So to make one of these, you can grab a kit from the Manchester City Library. Just come to the reference desk and ask. We are going to have only a few available this week. And then if you are able to come in person to the elementary experiments on the last Tuesday of the month, you will definitely get one then. And then if we have any extras, we'll probably put those out afterwards. But in our kit, we have some handy dandy instructions. We also have a sheet of paper. This is a sheet of scrapbook paper that is 6 inches by 12 inches. And I found that that's a pretty nice size to make the fans. We have a strip of ribbon to hold our fan closed. And we have 2 jumbo popsicle sticks. So if you are not able to get to the Manchester City Library, or we have run out of extra crafts, if you're not coming to our in-person event, you still may be able to find these items to make this with us anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of paper. If you have one from our kits, one side is printed, the other side is white. Now would probably be the easiest time to decorate your white paper, but remember that it is going to eventually be folded up. So just keep that in mind as you decorate if that changes anything. I think I am going to go ahead and do some quick coloring just so we can see how that changes. All right, so here's my very fast, fine enough colored rainbow on that side. So now what we're going to do is basically we are just going to take about an inch of this paper, or about as much as the width of our jumbo craft stick. So we can kind of use that to sort of tell how much we want to fold it. And then we're just going to fold that over. So fold that, and then we're going to flip it and fold it back and forth in an accordion fold. All right, and we can actually use the edges as we fold to make sure that we keep everything nice and neat. We're just going to repeat that until we run out of paper. All right, so I've got this little bit of like sort of extra paper, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. Okay, now you decide which side that you would like to face out when your fan is closed. I'm going to do the printed side, which means I'm going to take the two ends of my paper here, and I am going to fold them so they touch. Increase that so the printed paper is on the outside, because that's what I decided on. Then we are going to take the large popsicle sticks, and we're going to align them up on either side of this fold, and we are going to glue the popsicle sticks onto the paper. Okay, now that glue is on there, we are going to let it sit for a little while, possibly put it under something, but make sure that that the glue is not going to get on anything important. So I'm just going to rest my glue bottle on top of here to sort of keep it in place. And we are going to come back in a few minutes to see if it is ready for us to put the finishing touches on. All right, so we are back, and I'm going to go ahead and check. Okay, so those are sticking on pretty well. So now what we want to do is we open our popsicle stick carefully all the way, making sure that everything is attached good enough. Now what we want to do is glue these edges together. Okay, so now we have our popsicle sticks, and you can see how my original drawing definitely got shifted and looks quite a bit different when we're finished. So if you guys haven't done your drawing yet, are going to do another one, you can use this as an example of how things are going to end up orientated at the end. But we still have a few more steps. So even though both the top seam and the bottom are closed, if we try and use this fan right now, it's gonna just sort of like flop a bit, right? So, and also if we go and close it, it will flop over a little. So what we're gonna do is we are going to add a little bit more glue just right into the middle of the crease. So we're just going to go through the layers, and we're going to put a little bit of glue just here in the middle, here in the middle, here in the middle, and so on, and possibly a little bit on the other side as well, just to balance it out. Okay, so we're going to let that dry a little bit. Okay, so now we have our fan, which is much sturdier now. I think the only thing is that when we close it, it has a tendency to spring back open. So our last step is to take the ribbon that was in our kit, or any kind of string or anything that you would like to use, and to attach it to the end of our popsicle sticks. I'm going to go ahead and tape it because it's faster, but if you want to glue, you can as well. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to put it kind of in the middle so I have room to tie it around my fan. And then if I want my fan to stay closed, I can just tie it and then either tie a bow on that side, or what I like to do is just to go ahead and tie the simple one knot on one side and one on the other, and I find that that usually keeps the fan closed and is also really fast to untie if you get hot and you're like, oh, I need that fan fast. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy your fancy paper fan and that it can help you get through this last of summer before we say farewell and get into the colder parts of the year. And when that comes, you can tie up your fancy paper fan and put it somewhere safe until the weather gets warm again. All right, so that's going to be it for this week's elementary experiments. I hope you enjoyed our summer farewell. I do want to remind everyone that this is our last video for this month, which means our next elementary experiments is going to be our in-person elementary experiments on the 27th, so Tuesday, the 27th of September at 3:30 in the Manchester City Library. You can stop in at the children's desk and then we'll get you where you need to be. And we are going to be doing both today's summer farewell and our previous elementary experiments, the picnic party. We're going to be doing both of those activities and crafts during the in-person elementary experiments, as well as possibly some target practice with our origami water balloons. So I hope to see you there. If not, I will see you back here on the first Tuesday of next month, same time, same place. Until then, bye.